You should expect what you inspect. And it seems that measurement of marketing still has a great impact on marketing's effectiveness. Let me kick off with that quote again. You should expect what you inspect. The quote's attributed to W. Edward Deming, the American engineer who spent a lot of his time in Japan after the war. You imagine Japan was decimated after the war, and working with the industrial leaders in Japan, he introduced concepts, including the one I just mentioned, that led to the rise of Japan to become the second most successful economy, shifting from 1950 disarray to 1960 such a strong economy. Pretty cool quote. Well, it seems that applies to marketing as well. Now, if you've listened to some of my recent blogs, you know that in 2005 we published the first of our landmark reports into alignment between sales and marketing. What we learned then has shaped much of the debate on the topic of alignment ever since. Well, in 2014 we published the 2013 refresh of that landmark research report. What we learned about training, process, automation, structure, tactics, demand generation, measurement, location is going to get the debate going all over again. And in this blog, I'm going to focus on just one chapter from that report. Chapter 7 looks at what you should measure and what effect we can have on closure rates, revenue contributions, and customer churn if we get it right. I'll also show you how to get a copy of the whole report for free at the end of this video. In our 2004-5 study, we found that the best aligned businesses measured marketing on the proposal closure ratio. That's the ratio that you'd least expect marketing to be measured on because it's kind of the sole province of sales. Well, since then we've been advocating to businesses that they should measure marketing on closure rates, and it's stuck, well, for some at least. This year we looked at measurement a little bit more deeply so that we could see what happened for those that took our advice and shifted measurement from leads to appointments to proposals and eventually to sales. Well, as you might expect, the probability of a marketing qualified lead ever closing goes up nicely. And across the survey group, the probability of a lead for marketing closing was 23% higher than for those that didn't measure marketing on closure rates. By the time sales is willing to accept the lead, they were 12% more likely to close if marketing is accountable to closure. So why the difference? Sales is usually responsible for many of the SQLs itself. Any improvement put in place by marketing will impact those leads that marketing creates and hands across, but not usually have much impact on the leads that sales initiates without marketing's help. The impact of marketing getting more focused on closability, though, was to see the total contribution of revenue, or total contribution towards revenue, I should say, from marketing lift by 16%. That's a pretty healthy uptick. In other words, you get 16% more revenue as a consequence of marketing generated leads if you measure marketing on closure, not on lead creation. Big lift. Necessarily, marketing often makes its best contribution to new logos. And although we'd expect a strong contribution to existing customer revenue, the net effect was a 10% lift in revenue from new logos. And an 18% improved retention rate with existing customers. We found no effectiveness ratios that were worsened as marketing stopped trying to create leads and focused instead on creating leads that close. Marketing's job is to create conditions and demand for sales to succeed. And on the demand side, if you measure marketing on closure rates, not lead flow, they'll give you demand that becomes revenue. It's obvious, but too many of us are still measuring marketing on lead creation. In a moment or two, I'll show you how to get a full copy of that alignment report, but first I'm going to do two things. I'm going to show you how to transition marketing to closure measurement, and I'm going to invite you to receive more blogs like this. Let's get to that conclusion first. How do we measure marketing on closure? Well, the answer is pretty simple. Just do it. And do it granularly. The first part's easy. Create visibility on the closure rates for all leads from all sources, and negotiate with marketing a KPI around some sort of improvement in the closure from those leads that marketing generates. Secondly, do it by campaign and by lead source. We're not proposing marketing, or not proposing that we hang marketing out to dry here. The measurement isn't marketing did well or marketing did badly, but this campaign beat that campaign, so let's stop that one and double down on this one. Well, if you enjoyed this blog, then make sure you subscribed to get either our blog, Funnel Vision comes out twice a week, or Funnel Vision Monthly, which is an editor's grab of the best articles from that month. Go to mathmarketing.com/blog and select one of those options now. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel to get updates. Now, if you already are subscribed, can I ask you to share this with a colleague? Why don't you go do that now and come back and I'll show you how to get a copy of the report. Okay, so here's how to get a copy of that report. Go to mathmarketing.com/alignment. We'll show you there how you can access the 2014 report, or a webinar that I did with key conclusions from the report, or both if you prefer. Now, if you'd like to see if Math Marketing's go-to-market planning workshops, known as Funnel Camp and Funnel Mastery workshops, would help you lift the performance of your sales and marketing systems, why not speak to a funnel coach today? Contact details are available on the website. I'll show you why demand is more important than brand next week. But for now, may your funnel be full and always flowing.